Hello, people. Hello, once again. Welcome back to the show. My name is Danny Graham. Our show is Comic Chat here on YouTube, and tonight we have three special guests. First is going to be Maz Mama Bear, Sean Stackhouse, and then Chris Knight. Before we get started, as I always do, if this is the first time you're viewing my channel, please subscribe. Secondly, please hit the notification bell because I want you to not be able to miss any material that I upload in the future. And also, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. I definitely read and respond to any and all comments that I receive. That also gives me material to do future shows. So before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and let each one of them introduce themselves, and we'll start the show.
Ladies first. So Chris, go ahead.
If that's the case, then you need to be going before anybody because you're the biggest. Well, never mind. We're not going to say that.
Yeah, so let's keep
Anyway.
it clean. Yes, but please. Please, Matt.
Hey y'all. Well, those two bicker. Hey y'all, Matt's Mama Bear here. You can find me at Matt's Mama Bear both on Twitter and on YouTube. Whichever one of you two want to go first, go next.
Well,
Chris,
again,
age
the next
before
lady
beauty.
needs to be going.
No, age before beauty, please.
Well, then I should just be both. Period. I'll just let you go in just because.
All right. I'm Sean Stackhouse. You can find me at Sean Stackhouse Reacts on YouTube and at Sean Stackhouse on.
You go in.
Yeah.
You can find me at Sean Stackhouse Reacts on.
Yes. Yeah.
Apparently, I've become a ventriloquist.
I was trying to share my link with some of my buddies.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, wait, when did I learn that new trick? That's awesome.
You didn't. That's the problem. That's why you didn't remember learning it.
I know. But please, Chris Knight, amuse us.
I am Chris Knight. I am one half of the Real Review 3000. I do a lot more of the work over here than Sean, but Sean's an integral part of this too. A lot of stuff that I do when it gets to bigger productions, he helps with. But
Chris wouldn't be online without Sean. Let's just put it.
That is not true because I came to Sean long before he did his own channel. The only reason why he went first was because I was dragging my feet because I didn't have time with my work schedule and all that. So if you mean he's the one that kicked my butt and start doing more content, that is true.
That's what I mean. Yes.
Okay, but it's because of me that he's on. So that's just the thing.
I've heard of it.
So
Sean, according to his logic, since you started first and you're the best.
Right? Actually, I had the first video on my channel. So therefore, I am still the best. See?
Okay.
And if you look on date,
I don't know if you could actually count like that, like 30-second clip of video.
It counts because I talked about what we're going to do, and we have started doing it. In fact, you've made me mention bat nipples more in the past 2 months than I never thought I would.
Well, I think bat nipples are a part of DC history that we
Integral part.
We must never repeat, but never forget.
That's right. Never forget bat nipples.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Anyways, you can find me online at youtube.com/The Real Review 3000 or on Twitter at Chris Knight 5150. We have a website, chaoscentral.com. You can check that out too.
With a K instead of a C.
That's right. KAHAOS. Chaos.
It doesn't even know how to spell the name of his own website.
That's kind of impromptu. I'm sorry. chaoscentral.com though, with a K. Yes. We got that. We got a lot of other things. We're coming up with a new, larger production thing. Sean and I will be working on that when we get some of the, as they would call it, dailies back.
Yeah.
We've worked on this for a long time. So,
and I can tell you what, we're actually putting this together slower. Speaking of dailies, we're actually not assembling it, on the production set like the Rise of Skywalker was assembled. We're taking
our time, and we're right now in some rewriting of the script and stuff, but that's okay.
Okay, good deal. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it.
Always, man. Always.
Try and do something like this on Mondays or Tuesdays, depending on if I come with a good topic. Last week we did Batman, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
giving a shout out to Ords. I miss him tonight. But today we're gonna do ranking Superman live action movies worst to best. Last week I sent a list of 8 movies that Superman live action was in, either he was featured in or he starred, to each one of the people, the panelists, and they had a all week to comprise their list and rank them from worst to best. I am very interested in what Sean Stackhouse is going to say.
I have to tell you, Danny,
This lover of Superman.
I agonized over this list. I mean, more so than Batman. I really did.
I don't see how, because 2 of them. If your worst is not in your worst spot, I'm going to be.
you just get right off the stream.
But I'm gonna let Mr. Knight go first.
All right.
You just want to kick him off the stream right away, just in case this doesn't work out. I guarantee you right now, there'll be at least one of his that. Well, I won't guarantee it, but I'll say I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least one of them that we won't agree with.
I know in my mind what are the worst 2.
Well, I know too.
I'm definitely trying to. I'm very curious of what he's going to say.
Yeah,
what's the worst? I know what's the worst.
All right, Sean. Come on with your Shaunica self.
He said for you to go first, Chris.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, he said for you to go first.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on here. I'm tweeting you out. So
see, all of your bloviating made you like not pay attention to what Danny was saying. You bloviating fool!
Oh, shut up, you jackhole, jackwagon, you dude canoe. Stop it. As I sit here and try to finish my tweet out. Okay, so number 8. Number 8 is Superman 4. Absolutely. and you know, I'll watch it occasionally, but I'm just sorry. This movie had so many production problems. It had nothing but greed on its mind when it was made.
Can I just say something really quick? The only reason that Superman 4 took such a production hit is because they siphoned the money for Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it didn't even help that.
No, it didn't. It didn't. So, if they wouldn't have siphoned the money, it could have been much better, I think. But I will shut up now.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't even know who played Nuclear Man. I can't remember that actor's name.
Man, I just know he was blonde and he had Gene Hackman's voice. You know, that was enough to freak me out.
The biggest problem for this movie, and not problem, I guess, but the biggest thing that I think is most regretful about this movie is Christopher Reeves wrote the script, and I think he had a much better script in mind, and they just...
Wait, what?
Yeah. The story, I mean, not the script, but the story was by Christopher Reeves.
Oh, I know that he was very interested in like the whole nuclear disarmament, you know.
Yes, that's why the story was... But I have a feeling that what we got on screen was nowhere near what he wanted. I don't think he was happy with it.
He was very upset.
Because I know for a fact that Christopher Reeves wanted to continue doing Superman movies. It's just it became such a cluster that this movie just imploded the whole series.
He was actually done after 3, but they promised him so much creative input on 4 that, you know, he's like, all right, if you guys are going to do it my way, then I'll come back and do it one more time.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
He tried to get things done that he wanted, and it just it was a cluster of so many different things going bad, and it's a sad thing because Christopher Reeve still to this day I think is probably one of, if not the best Superman that we've seen on live action, and I would say it's a hard between him and him and Henry Cavill.
I think Christopher Reeve is probably the most like Silver Age comic accurate looking Superman we've ever had. For sure.
Where's Superman 2 on this list? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, he didn't do. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Okay.
That's not a bad list. Not a bad list at all.
No. and I know so many people put Superman 2 up front, but so number 7, Superman 3. Much for the same reason. There were a lot of bad things happening. I mean, and again, it's a sad thing. Richard Pryor was a much better actor and comedic force than that movie gave him the ability to do.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the bad guy that the company guy.
The man from Uncle was his name. I mean, he played the man from Uncle.
Yeah, he did like a stint in the A-Team.
Websco. So it was Websco, Ross Webster. That's who it was.
I don't think that was his name. His name was like Steve Vaughn. It was something Vaughn, I thought it was.
Bringing him to the attention of CEO Ross Webster. Webster is intrigued by Gus's potential to help.
No. We talking about his real name.
Oh, no. I'm just talking about the name of the character. It was Jackie Cooper.
No, Jackie Cooper.
No.
His real name was Vaughn.
No. Hold on. Mark McClure, maybe? No, hold on.
That was Jimmy Olsen.
His last name is Vaughn.
Yeah, Robert Vaughn. That's it. Okay. Anyways, again, a calamity of things. First off, your villain in this movie is basically just a cheap Lex Luthor. They wanted Lex Luthor. They didn't have Lex Luthor, so they threw this guy in, made up this story. The fact that Gus, the Richard Pryor's character, gets thrown to Smallville during Clark Kent's 20th or 15th high school reunion, it's all too coincidental. There's no real story there. It just kind of happens, and it happens really quick. And then they make this fake kryptonite, and he adds nicotine to it, which ends up making Superman bad.
Was it nicotine?
Yes.
I thought it was tar.
I thought it was tar too.
But I think he was smoking, and that's what he came up with was tar, maybe. I'll look here and see. I can't remember if it was nicotine or tar, but it's basically it was because of cigarettes that they put that he thinks of that extra 1% or whatever it is, and he throws it in. So basically, what he's thinking of is cigarettes, nicotine, tar, whatever you want to say.
See what you want about how bad Superman 3 is? The scene where he's in the bar flipping the nuts at the bottles of booze and just busting them all open. That is legendary.
I will also tell you the junkyard scene was a wonderful scene if it was shot a little better, but Christopher Reeves acts pretty well in it. Where you have Clark Kent fighting Superman. Mm-hmm. And it really... If that movie had been a little better, it could have been one of the best, because this is something that in the comic books, he does fight with himself in the sense of he fights with being this person who's trying to be as human as everybody else, but has this weight on his shoulder that he feels like he has to protect these people. And it's a constant fight of his two sides. And it was a very interesting thing to see in Superman 3, because we really don't get that a ton. We get it kind of in Superman 2. But that's more because of love than duty. In this case, it's Clark Kent who comes out and decides that this is wrong and that he has to stop it. But Superman 3 is my number 7. Number 6, this will make Sean and blow up and just take this, clip this next 30 seconds, because you're going to see spontaneous combustion.
Number 7?
Right now on my number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6, Justice League.
No.
Okay, good. Justice League is number 6 not because Henry Cavill did a bad job. The movie is the reason why I put it as number 6. It just has a really horrible... I mean, it's the problem of putting in a new actor, or not an actor, but a new director, and cutting it up and pasting it together so bad. Henry Cavill's portrayal at the end of Justice League is Superman. It's Superman through and through. It's the Christopher Reeves Superman, and he plays it very well. And
that is the highlight of Justice League.
It is, and it's sad to think that perhaps it was going to go that way. Maybe we don't know. This release the Snyder Cut thing. Like I said, I could care less if they do it or don't. If you're going to do it, fine. But whatever. It doesn't matter, because you're not going to get that movie to a place where it's going to be any better than what it is. even if you release whatever Zack Snyder may or may not have. And the bad thing, like I said, is one of my favorite Supermen in there, Henry Cavill. Number 5 is very well could have been between 5, 4, and 3. Superman Returns. Brandon Routh, Kate Bosworth. I loved Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. I think that he did the part justice, in my opinion. He plays the I'm going to do whatever I can to get back to a place where I can do what I want to do. So he plays this really nice person who takes care of this old lady, tricks her into leaving her whole fortune, and then whatever. I mean, you don't like him, do you, Sean?
No, Kevin Spacey's Lex. I thought Kevin Spacey's Lex was probably better than the Gene Hackman Lex. It's just my problem is that he was still I think Kevin Spacey could have gone the mad scientist route very, very well. Instead, they kept him like the real estate guy. The
comparison is like Jack Nicholson's Joker versus Heath Ledger Joker.
I think very true. I think he's like Heath Ledger. He brought new territory and new things to the character, but I do think it's because of Gene Hackman. He played it very much like Gene Hackman would have done.
Gene Hackman was kind of over the top on some of that stuff, especially when he Miss Hospital and all that kind of.
Well, I think it's I don't know. I like the way he portrayed it. And I think he was trying to be comic bookish.
Well, the best Lex is Michael Rosenbaum. He is the best, hands down.
Michael Rosenbaum is hard to beat, man.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that.
Well,
we're not talking about.
Listen to Chris pretend like this is his dream.
No, but what I mean is that if we're talking about the best Lex Luthor in general, fine. But we're talking about the movie.
Okay. Between those two, I'm leaning towards Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gene Hackman in the movies, but you're right. I mean, the TV series have had a couple pretty decent Lex Luthors.
I mean, even John Cryer is a pretty decent.
And like that right now is the newest one, and I think it's kind of hilarious that he played
Lenny in Superman 4. He was Lex's nephew.
Yeah, and I think it's so hilarious that
he was the dude that always said, "Oh no."
Yeah. Okay. So number 5 was Superman Returns. Number 4, Batman versus Superman. I like the movie. I just don't like that they killed him in it.
I really think that Chris is stealing off my notes.
No, I'm not.
We are identical.
Well, that's good. I don't think.
What did you say, Mama Bear?
Y'all ain't going to be happy with my list. You never are.
I'm not going to be happy with my list either, but it's okay.
I don't think that it was the right time to kill Superman. He is much darker in this movie. Superman normally tried not to be swayed by Lex Luthor or any bad guy just because. And in this movie, he kind of just accepts that he has to go after Batman. There's some faux pas in this movie, but in all, I liked the movie. And again, it's Henry Cavill.
You said Superman was dark in this movie?
He was darker.
I think he was darker in Justice League.
In the beginning, but he's not really.
When he came out that grave, that's like
because he wasn't himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to take into account what's going on. He's regenerating still. By
the time that his mind is right in Justice League, he's essentially channeling Christopher Reeve.
Yeah,
but like when he was fighting the League, he wasn't really aware of where he was, what was going on. I mean, so yeah, I mean, in that sense, he was really dark.
Yeah, but so that was my number 4, Batman versus Superman. Number 3, Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel a lot. I like the puberty part of it where he's starting to realize his powers and he doesn't know what to do with them. He locks himself in a closet. I guess a lot of people don't like that scene, but I think it's one of the best scenes in it because we actually get to see how he might be feeling. I don't have a problem with him killing Zod. He eventually kills Zod in the comic books. Technically, he kills Zod in Superman 2. Exactly. Jinx. I mean, people seem to have this problem with him killing. And while Superman doesn't like to kill, he doesn't do it just to do it. He has killed. He begs Zod in Man of Steel, don't make me do this. And I know that all these people want to go out there and go like, oh, he could have done this. He could have done that. You know what? Come on.
There was no kryptonite yet. There was no way that
it isn't even just that.
There was no
lots of people that just think that they know that he could have done something other than kill him.
People, the argument like you could fake him to another planet. Well, Zod would fly back.
Exactly. It's like he weighs the situation. He realizes he's the only one that can do anything about this, and he begs him, don't do this, because he knows what he has to do.
And after he snapped his neck and he fell to his knees and shouted, you could see how that weighed on him.
Yes,
because it was the last person, of his species.
Exactly. And yeah, you know what? You can do that. But the thing is that I think this gives us more feeling behind Superman.
We're not having that discussion tonight.
No, we're not. Okay.
Superman will whoop that ass.
But the thing is that it's probably the best portrayal of all of Superman's emotions getting to be Superman. That whole movie is about him becoming Superman, not about him being Superman.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, we've yet to have the about him being Superman. We see Superman at the end of Justice League. Hopefully, we get that Superman in a new Superman movie with Henry Cavill. Yeah. Hopefully. Number 2, Superman 2. The cut that we got was not as good, in my opinion, as the Donner cut, and the Donner cut is still really not totally finished. This is where the Zack Snyder cut comes into play. We see what they had to do to make the Donner cut work. There's a scene that is just basically the screen test that they use for it. But Superman 2 in general is a very good sequel. It's intriguing because it, again, kind of explores Clark Kent dealing with being Superman, but wanting to be himself, or just be a person, not have to be held to this feeling that he has to save and help people. And so he makes a very selfish decision, and it backfires on him. And he has to kind of eat crow throughout the whole thing. He's constant, he goes, this guy starts getting on him in this diner, and he thinks, I'm just going to stand up and take care of this guy. But he doesn't think, I'm not Superman anymore. He gets his ass handed to him. It's an interesting movie. And so I really like it. And then number 1, of course, Superman, 1978. I remember watching that movie as a kid, and I absolutely loved it. My mom would drive me by a little laundromat in the small town that I grew up in, Parkville, Missouri, that had in the back a telephone booth that they would hang a Superman costume in. And it was my want to see that every day. If it was closed, they'd turn off all the lights, but leave the light on in the phone booth so you could see it. And I just loved that. And I mean, still to this day, I remember the place is still there. It's not a laundromat anymore. The doors are, shuttered, or, they put shades down and stuff. And that's been long gone. But I still remember as a child what it was like driving by that. So that's my memory of Superman 1. And still to this day, I think, the effects, how they shot things, it's obviously old, but it's Christopher Reeves, and he was the first Superman to show us what Superman should be on screen. Yes, there was the 50s TV show and things like that, but this was the first colored.
There was even the Kirk Allen serials before George Reeves.
Was that 30s or 40s?
I think that was 40s, because Superman was created in 38.
Yeah,
I think George Reeves was like 50s though, because when it first came out, it was black and white with the color. I think maybe that last season or 2, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you ever get to see, I forget the name of it. There's a documentary about him. Go watch that because
he was really crazy. He thought he could fly for real.
Ironically, Ben Affleck played George Reeves in Hollywoodland.
Yeah.
And it's actually a pretty good movie.
But that's my list.
That's a very good list, Chris. I ain't mad at you. We almost identical to the last part.
But hey, listen, this is a very strange thing. That's probably why I love coming on your streams is that people don't call me crazy. I am, but that's besides the point.
Chris.
Maps. You are up
Hey.
next, ma'am. I am very interested in hearing what you got to say.
Okay, bear in mind, I'm much as I'm positive I have seen Superman 3 and 4. 3 is ringing a minor bell. 4 is completely wiped from my memory.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
So yeah, Superman 4 is number 8.
Don't be mad at that.
No. I have all of them on DVD, and I have yet to take the fourth one out.
Honestly, I have a steel trap of memory, but there are some very large holes. When it
Be
comes
glad
to
that
everything.
hole was there.
So yeah, Superman 4's number is number 8 on my list. For the same respect, Superman 3. Like Danny was giving me the lowdown through it, and he was even checking it out online. And while the whole Superman Richard Pryor thing is ringing a bell, like I can remember that, but again, big holes. This is where I know I'm going to get some controversy with you guys. I am not a Zod fan. Okay, Man of Steel is number 6 on my list.
Oh.
I was expecting.
That's okay. It's
Now, I'm not. I will be with you as far as I'm not as big of a fan as Michael Shannon's Zod as I was Terrence Stamp's Zod, Superman 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the Zod in Man of Steel was ready to go. Was just so it was.
Kick him off for saying
I
that.
didn't like him.
Terrence Stamp is the definitive Zod. He truly is.
Yes.
He is, but I liked both Zods. It's just of the two. Again, I think that
Stan was on point because during that time he was hot just off of that. What was that? That gangster movie he played on. Something about them being in Jersey City by the water, and he was like the FBI agent, like Elliot Ness. Oh God.
Oh shoot.
Boardwalk Empire. Wasn't
Untouchables.
it? It was Boardwalk Empire.
I think that's it.
He played the same like Elliot Ness did.
Yeah.
He was awesome. in that.
Hey, he was in Groundhog Day. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I'm looking it up really quick here.
Pretty sure it's Boardwalk Empire.
Probably. Was it a TV show or a movie?
Machine Gun Creature, The Broken Tower, Return, Take
That's
Shelter.
TV show. It's Boardwalk Empire. Then.
Oh, TV. Hold on. TV. Yeah, Boardwalk Empire.
He started in it.
Yeah, he was main cast seasons 1 through 5.
Yeah. So yeah. Again, don't hate me for this one. Number 5, Superman 2.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. Again, I was expecting that.
Oh,
I just again.
Come on,
I
man.
struggle with the whole Zod thing.
Come on now.
You know, just the whole concept of it, of all the people that they could save. You know, from Krypton, it's the ones that were locked in the industrial prison.
that's
really.
kind of the thought process.
They were
That wasn't his fault. That was doggone the council fault for not listening to
Exactly.
Yeah. I
I realize that, but it's,
I think you see it better in Man of Steel how they had showed that
Zod
Kal-El,
was trying to do a mutiny.
he was like, listen, he pleads with both sides, like don't do this. He pleads with Zod and says, don't.
Yeah.
We can still fix this. And Zod's intent on taking over, the council's intent on turning a blind eye to everything, and this guy in the middle understands that they're both need to work together and they need to figure this out or they're all going to die, and it happens. In Superman 2, again, when the council banishes them, that's how they survive. And it's just no way. And so I think that it's done fine.
Mad, for what you say, I find you guilty. Guilty.
You are guilty.
Kneel before Zod.
I have reasons for having the other ones higher on my list.
All right.
And it just because that they have so much iconic Superman scenes, and that they show a more pure Superman than in 2, like more comic book accurate. I mean, there's so many things with Batman versus Superman that was just pure comic book that
that's your number what? Batman v Superman.
4.
Number 4.
Yeah. And it's the same with Justice League. That seeing the dark side when he doesn't realize who he is, but the only one he does recognize is Batman.
Do you bleed?
Yeah, he recognized Batman because he was pissed.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but seeing that dark side, just how far he really could go and how much he holds back against everybody else. That for me is why it's in number 3.
Okay, I respect that.
Justice League is your number 3.
Mm-hmm. Return of Superman's number 2, and again, it's the iconic. I know there was a huge script issues with it.
Oh,
but a comic book directly out of the comic book accurate, scenes like him putting the car down in all of it.
I said
that was just pure squeal.
I said Superman Returns
car down or the
5, 4, 3.
He was
all of it.
He was like he is in Crisis. He was the continuation of Christopher Reeve.
Yes.
So he carried himself very much like Christopher Reeve. So
didn't you even say you liked his portrayal in Crisis?
Oh, his portrayal in Crisis was actually better than Superman Returns in general.
I think he was great in Superman Returns. I really love that movie.
I'm not talking about his performance. I'm just talking about the movie. But I mean,
he looks better. He looks better.
He as he's aged, he looks more and more like a Christopher.
Okay,
Reeve.
really quick then. Henry Cavill doesn't get the job again, or they don't get it back in time. What?
We already discussed that.
Yeah, I'd give it to Brandon Ruth.
Okay, yeah, all right, cool. I think he was great for Superman Returns, and I'd love to see him come back.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Like I say, he's one of the iconics.
What was that, Matt? You said he needed to be a little more buff.
I got kind of spoiled with Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So I would want the new Superman to look a little bit more buffed.
Yeah, but I mean, Brandon, in the Kingdom Come suit, maybe it's just because he was standing next to that skinny twig of a Superman, from Supergirl, but he looked pretty ripped standing next to Tyler Hoechlin or whatever his name is.
Country strong. He don't look.
He looked like he's been, baling hay on a farm, man.
Nah, even boy from Smallville looked stronger than more muscular than he did.
Oh, I don't think so. But I mean, yeah, I hear you.
Anyway, that leaves number 1, classic Superman. 1978, great year for movies, great year for yours truly. So,
what was your number 2, Mads? I didn't get that.
Number 2 was Return of Superman.
Return of Superman.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I said it could have been 5, 4, 3. So I don't disagree with you. I think that movie's heavily underrated.
It wasn't for the script.
I understand the script problems people have with it, but I don't think it was that bad.
That's my biggest issue with the movie. Everything else, like the production, the graphics, the costumes, the acting, everything else was on point. It's just that freaking script.
So what about the script?
Even the Lex was really good.
Yeah, he was.
What was it about the script, Sean?
Because it was less action, more love story, and for me than I like in a Superman movie. You know, he was like spying on Lois Lane from afar with his X-ray vision. You know, like
that was a little
peeping into her house.
Creepy, but again, he knows that there's that.
I understand, but I mean, it's just Brian
it's
Singer.
personal choice.
Brian Singer was just the wrong choice for Superman, in my opinion.
Now, I might agree with the director being an issue in that.
I mean, you could have maybe taken the entire script and put somebody else, like put Patty Jenkins on it, and she might have retooled it in a way to where, you know, it would have been fantastic.
Well, hopefully we'll find out before long.
I hope so.
All right, sorry, Matt.
No worries.
What was number one?
I mean,
What was number one?
Classic Superman was
Okay.
classic
Yeah,
Superman. And, you know, I completely agree with the whole script issue. I mean, if really Bryan Singer was not a good match for it,
Mhm.
and that is not just me saying as an X-Men fan that I really wanted to see his version of Phoenix, because I seen some of his teaser clips,
Of which?
his teaser sketches and stuff of what he was going to do for Phoenix.
Oh, the one right after X-Men 3?
No, the one that was supposed to be X-Men 3.
He didn't do X-Men 3 so he could do Superman Returns. And when they actually announced Bryan Singer, because we were coming off of X2, you know, when they announced Bryan Singer was going to do Superman Returns, I was like, holy crap, this could be really, really cool. But
I think the Dark Phoenix line has just never been handled well when it comes to live action.
You are Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix was not that bad.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
It is not the worst X-Men movie.
Well, I know a lot of people didn't like First Class. I loved First Class.
Well, First Class to me was the best. That one about when Wolverine and they first did the Deadpool, and he was on top of that big nuclear thing.
That's Origins.
Yeah, that's the worst. That is the worst.
I like everything but Deadpool.
No, the Wolverine was much worse than
A lot of people think that, but I didn't have an issue with the.
They didn't do the Silver Samurai right because they didn't. They didn't do him right.
No, but I don't know. I liked all of them in little ways, but there's when they started going away from the X-Men series, X-Men 1, 2, and 3, and even 3 was starting to get a little.
I love that fight scene when he first gets his powers back. He's fighting that guy in that lab. That was it for me.
Yeah,
but him cutting off his claws and drilling in that one.
Yeah, that was nah.
Sean says you are the Superman lover. I'm gonna let you go last, bro.
Okay, cool.
I'll let you pull the
Superman.
Well, I mean, he's like
I am more of one of these people that like a lot of different properties.
You're Chris Knight. He's Sean Lane. So I mean, that's why I'm letting him go last.
I'm kidding.
Me and Chris was almost identical.
Ask him why we're doing a Superman stream and he's wearing a Shazam hat.
Because I don't have a Superman hat.
Would you see?
And a Thundercat.
Thundercat
shirt.
Yeah. Wait, what is this?
I don't see anybody else wearing any Superman paraphernalia.
I don't have the first Superman paraphernalia.
At least I got a Superman comic book right here. I got
Wonder Woman.
Oh, there you go. I've got my Superman comic book right here for my 1,700 subscriber giveaway.
I don't have the first piece of Superman gear.
I could wear my Superman underoos from when I was 6.
Oh God, no.
No. We're good, Chris. We're good.
See, I told you I'm crazy, so that's all right.
My list, number 8 was Superman 4. It was just total garbage. Just to prove a point, Nuclear Man almost killed Superman
by scratching him.
But he doesn't die.
That's here nor there.
And actually,
almost dies.
You bring up a good point. How? Because Nuclear Man was made by throwing Lex's and Superman's DNA into the sun, so he was powered by the sun. So how
was Superman?
Right. So how could Superman be weakened by a scratch from somebody that was powered by the sun? Now I have to reevaluate my list.
Okay, let me just say this. Superman technically doesn't die. He just goes into a super deep coma.
It's a state of regeneration.
Exactly. So we're not going to get into this, but your little Goku versus Superman thing, Goku would probably end up going crazy trying to kill Superman because every 10 years or something, Superman, even if he did put him in that regenerative state, he'd come back and be like, "You ready to go again?"
Let me ask you this. If Batman would have stabbed Superman with that kryptonite spear, you think it would have killed him?
No. Lois would have eventually showed up and she would have pulled it out. Just like when Superman was stabbed with that chunk of kryptonite in Superman Returns, he still lifted up that entire mountain or that entire landmass made out of kryptonite.
After he got regenerated by the sun.
No, he still had.
She pulled it out of him. He flew up.
Okay, you're right. But it didn't kill him. It didn't kill him though. And
that was a small piece.
Even when and if you want to go to the comic books about this, even when he gives it to Bruce or Batman, all he says is this is gonna help you control me. He doesn't say it's gonna kill me.
And if you want to go to Smallville, when Zod and Clark are on the rooftop, Zod stabs him with kryptonite, throws him off the roof. He hits the ground, and Lois Lane pulls it out of him after he hits the ground from a skyscraper, and he's still recovered.
Okay. My head hurting.
We got examples.
But when he gets under the red sun, isn't he the same as us?
Not immediately. It takes a few hours for it to
that was one of the main points. I think one of you was complaining about how Supergirl outlasted him when they were shooting their heat vision out.
It was
and the example I told you, he was in wherever he was, not powered by the sun. He had no time to fully charge. That's why she outlasted him.
But when he comes back into a yellow sun, he immediately powers up. It doesn't take him time.
Yeah.
So that's why I have an issue with that scene. As soon as he came back into the vicinity of the yellow sun, he should have been at full power.
Mm-hmm.
But according to what they do in Smallville, that's not true because I can't think of which one of those bad guys, season 1, said that Superman, when they use their X-ray, when they use their heat vision at full strength, it kind of drains their battery, and they're gonna have a few days, a few hours, whatever time to power up because he did it. And then when Supergirl exerted herself and did hers, she was out of power for a few hours.
Well, but it just depends on what lawyer you're going from because there was a panel in the Death of Superman where Superman's heat vision came out in like a wide shot, like Cyclops's beams. I mean, it wasn't like two single things. It was like full on. And he blasted Doomsday, and he still had heat vision for the rest of the fight. It didn't complete its power.
He controlled that because in Return of Superman, when the glass was falling down, he's able to extend his beam real thin and burn up all the glass. Remember that part?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the comic book.
I'm saying comic book, whatever. I'm not debating whether or not he controlled the width or strength or intensity of his beam. I'm just saying, based on what I've seen on TV shows, and when certain things happen, that's what the explanation is. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I see what you're saying, and my only answer is going to be kind of a shoddy answer. It depends on who's writing it. But if you go by comics, I don't think that's necessarily always been the case.
Okay.
Number 7.
My number 7 is Superman 3.
Thank you.
I'm thinking that it made pretty good money because at that time Richard Pryor was kind of at the height of his popularity, and I think that put some butts in the seat. But far as a true fan, it's not high on my list because
its box office was 59,956,23. It was the 12th grossing film of 1983.
Okay. but I know it was kind of stupid because this machine was able to figure out his weakness, Superman's weakness, and
I know.
tonight the laser, and I think they trap him in some kind of bubble, if I remember correctly. Then I think at one part the machine turned the woman to a robot.
Yeah, and so if they were going to do that, they might as well have just done Brainiac, but they couldn't have done Brainiac at that point in time with technology.
Yeah. It was again, so many things about that were poorly conceived, and it was the beginning of the end. And even Christopher Reeves saw it, and unfortunately, like I said, 4 came about because he was talked into doing it. Good for him. I mean,
I thought the junkyard scene was iconic.
Yeah, it was iconic.
I never seen him do that in the comic books. Like
they made a nod to that in Crisis, where the two Supermen were fighting each other, and Brandon had the other one by his neck.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen Clark versus Superman.
Oh no, I thought that was. You're right. That was iconic.
That was because that was his human side saying, "No, this is wrong. I know this is wrong." Again, it was a classic. It was the classic inner struggle that it was always going on within the character, and it was needed. And again,
I agree.
Unfortunately, it wasn't as good as it could have been, and there was a lot of wrong directions. 3 could have been a lot better. It was not unsavable. It's just I can't remember who directed it or whatnot.
No, I think it was just limited by their kind of like how Tony Stark's dad said he was limited. He figured out that new technology. He's limited by the technology.
Yeah,
Richard Lester is who directed it.
Yeah. So like man said, they were limited by their technology back then.
Yep.
I think they did the best they could with that junkyard scene.
Well, when you take in consideration that they actually had to create the technology to make Superman fly in '78, I mean, that shows you how kind of prehistoric these movies are in the realm of visual effects.
Yeah,
compared to now.
And with high def TVs, you can start to see the cracks really well. But
you know what? They still hold up. Like the 4K transfer of Superman the movie still looks really, really good.
Yeah.
But that's the joy of this kind of stuff. I mean, it's like we were talking Batman last week, and for me, I know I had the Batman 1970s, 60s, whatever movie higher on the list than pretty much anyone else, but that's because I love that cheesy, campy stuff that was the height of technology at the time.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
Robin,
Batman and Robin climbing up the side of the building when they're just really crouching on the ground holding a rope. I love it.
But Adam West before
not to mention Big Stars was clamoring to get on that show, man.
Yeah. Always popping out the window. Yeah, Adam West. I mean, he was the Batman of my childhood until Keaton came around, and then Keaton changed the game for me. But I have a lot of respect and love for the '60s show.
Like I said, you can't separate Batman from Adam West, and you couldn't separate Robin from Burt Ward. You just couldn't.
No,
and up until the day that West died.
Yeah,
one of my favorite episodes is when they did the Green Hornet crossover.
Yes,
I'm a big Green Hornet fan.
And Kato almost killed Robin.
Yeah, that wasn't even close, man.
Did you go and watch the storyline on when they strapped Robin in that side cart that in the movie when it shot off? I can't remember whoever they put in there. They were so scared of that thing. Literally, they said it was basically a cardboard, or not cardboard, but a plywood bottom to that thing that was within like a half an inch from the ground, and it was going like 40 miles an hour. The guy. Some of the stuff they did in the '60s TV show was like, how did these people not die?
Yeah.
They probably did.
They said the Batmobile didn't run no more than about 40, 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
No, but
they had to speed up the camera to make it look so fast coming out the back gate.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Keaton Batmobile.
You ever get a chance, if you're in Los Angeles, go to the cave area where they shot that. It's just kind of It's kind of surreal.
I bet it is.
There's a guy here where I live here in South Carolina. He has the Adam West Batmobile. It is awesome.
There's a guy in town here
You
named
get him on a stream.
Pace, Bill Pace, and he does all of the reproduction cars. He's done one of the Keaton.
He's got Ghostbusters.
He's got Ghostbusters. He's got he's done all of that, and it's really cool when they do that.
My number 5 is Superman Returns. Not a fan of that show. I like Lex. He's not my favorite, but overall,
you said number 5.
Yeah,
number 5.
Yeah.
I agree with Sean. I think it was more of a love story, homesick type stuff. Didn't have a lot of action for it. I mainly was excited about maybe the first scene when he's trying to stop that airplane.
Yep,
that was cool. How he would fly through the wing, and when he finally caught it, crumpled all up. I thought that was cool. But I go to Superman movies and superhero movies to see
action,
superhero stuff.
You want to see action. You don't want to see like this dramatic love story.
Yeah. It's my number 5. Number 4 is Batman v Superman. I like this movie. I don't love it, but I like it. Batman is my favorite DC character. I think he is the most dangerous man in the DCEU. I would love to see him with Superman's power.
Well, we've seen him with the Green Lantern ring.
I saw him with Green Lantern, but I want to see him with Superman's power.
What I love about him not having those superpowers is the fact that he's so smart that he basically, and if I remember right, it's in the comic books and it's in a few of the, I think they insinuate the fact that he basically has these files on everybody. He knows everything about them.
He does.
Because he
is the greatest detective.
Yeah, he has to protect everything around him, he believes.
He's the only human being that has ever dodged Darkseid's Omega beams.
Yep, that is correct. I remember that on that. I can't remember which one it was, because Darkseid even commented about it.
Yeah.
So Batman's he's the stuff. Number 3 is Superman 1. I don't hate it, but I like another movie better. Superman 1.
Wait, what was it?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Superman 1.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I criticize Superman is because, he's strong, he got all these powers, but he is naive as hell. Who in the hell tells your enemies your secrets, your weaknesses? First interview here at Lois Lane, I can't see through lead, Lois, and kryptonite hurts me. I mean, why in the hell would you tell somebody that? I don't understand that.
Lois Lane's not.
I know he always tells the truth. He don't lie. He said that. I get off.
Lois wasn't his enemy though.
But Lois gave it to the whole world. That's how Lex found out about it.
Well, okay,
true, but I guess again that goes back to the truthfulness. He's giving her what she wants, and
because he literally tells her in that movie. He says, "I don't lie, Lois."
Mr. Spock doesn't lie, but he bends the truth a little bit when
but there's an actual
Superman actually won't bend the truth.
Hey, hold on, and I can prove why for Sean and for you both. Here's the thing: Superman is a Kryptonian. He will not, and it's how he was. He would not tell a lie. Spock was half human, half Vulcan. There was human sides, even though he hated it. He knew, and he had the ability to look past logic at times, even though it drove him nuts to do so. He could do it though because of his human side. So there is the reason why he could do that. Superman had made it his
Zod could lie.
It's not that he's Kryptonian that makes it so he can't lie. It is his inner workings based off of what he believes his father wanted. He believes that his father and
fathers.
Yes, he believes the way he was raised. That's just how it is, and he feels the necessity
That's bullcrap because Jonathan lied the whole time, and he told him several times in the movie, "You can't tell what you are, Clark. If you tell what you are, they're going to take you. They're going to kill you. They're going to test you. They're going to take you."
If you judge off of,
situation.
but you're judging off of Man of Steel's Jonathan Kent, and Man of Steel's Jonathan Kent was a piece of crap.
All of Jonathan Kent's want to protect Clark because they know if humanity got their hands on him, they was going to test him, take him away from him. So he knew in that particular situation
he never has to lie. He doesn't have
but that's the exact point against the whole, Superman doesn't lie bunk nonsense.
He doesn't.
He lies all the friggin' time.
How?
Because he works for a newspaper, and nobody has a damn clue that he's Superman.
But nobody asks him point blank, so he has to lie. He just doesn't have to say it.
He's protecting the whole thing about his secret identity. He's doing that to protect the lives of the people that are
okay.
Doing.
So if he lying, he did that to protect people that he loves,
and the moment that Lois figures it out,
tell the people about his weaknesses.
The moment that Lois figures it out,
the world's dumbest newspaper, because seriously.
Yes,
I'm a different person now.
Yes, that's
actually
no, wait.
This run of the comic books, I think they're actually going to out him.
Knocking out the park tonight, buddy. Yes.
I don't think he's ever lied. You know what?
See, but the thing is, like, at least with the Christopher Reeve portrayal of Superman, when he was Clark Kent, he was literally playing a different person. I mean, he slouched. He was shorter. He made himself shorter. He was a klutz. I mean, his whole demeanor completely changed.
Okay.
And in both, wait.
Go ahead.
Okay. And in both versions of him being outed in Superman 2, it pisses him off because he knows he has to tell her when it happens. Because he drops his glasses, he tries to put them on, tries to act like okay, nothing, and then he hits the floor and he's like, damn it, I have to tell her now because I have let my guard down. And he tells her. Not because she asked, but because he can't tell a lie.
That's because whenever he tells a lie, all he got to do is do his magical kiss. And she
and that's the worst
doesn't
part.
Exist outside of those movies.
No, wait, time out. In Superman 2, that's not how it went with Richard Donner's cut. That was one of the reasons why Richard Donner's cut was better. That was the horrible rewrite that they threw in there, and everybody calls that scene out for the stupid thing that happens.
Yep.
Well, in Superman 2, apparently he must have went to Vegeta and learned. I mean, Goku learned how to instant transmission because when he fought on General Zod, if I'm not mistaken, he teleported and he recreated himself.
And he was like tossing like his emblems off of his suit.
Horrible one too.
I mean, I don't understand how like some of the things they did in the Fortress of Solitude in those movies. I don't understand half of that stuff.
It was again. We're not. Yeah.
But that wasn't source material. That I think that was the Salikins or whoever it was that had the rights to the film franchise at the time.
Exactly. All right.
Okay. Number 3. Did I do 3? 3 was Superman 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Number 2 is Man of Steel.
Okay.
I like Christopher Reeves, but I got spoiled when I started Henry Cavill because most of the times the suit makes the man, but in this particular case, I think the man made the suit.
Yeah.
When he put it on, I can see the comic book Superman muscled up, chiseled up, the look, everything about it.
Danny, have you seen the test shot of Henry Cavill wearing Superman like Christopher Reeve's suit?
I did.
Oh, you should see it, man, because I mean, it is bad.
Well, you see, and the one thing that Sean and I can agree with on Justice League is that the last scenes that we get with Superman, that is more accurate to that Christopher Reeves outfit. It's brighter, it's more colorful, and again,
I like the dark, and I want to see him in the black Superman suit with the silver S.
Yep.
That's what I want to see him in.
Me too.
Well, they were going to do that, and they tossed that out the side somewhere.
I want to see in Superman, Man of Steel 2, if they ever come to their senses, the villain has to be Darkseid. I don't want to see Brainiac. I want to see Darkseid.
We need to see Darkseid. We do. You're right.
And I want to see his son's Calabac. I can't think of the other guy.
Oh, you want to see the new gods?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what's the lady that trains him?
Oh,
Mama-
Granny Goodness.
Granny Goodness. I want to see Mr. Terrific. I want to see not Mr. Terrific. What's his name? The guy that can get out of any kind of predicament.
Oh,
Mr. Impossible or something.
let's see. There's Highfather. Oh, I forget his name. I forget his name.
Mr. Impossible, if I am mistaken. Anyway, my number one is Superman 2. Unlike Mads, I am a fan of Zod. Neo before Zod. I like that. Didn't care for the mute guy that couldn't talk.
Yeah.
I thought he was useless. But Zod and the female.
He couldn't even get his heat vision to work.
Yeah, I could get down with them. I didn't like the part where he lost his powers, but I like when he was able to go back in there and reconfigure it so he would be protected by the little room and the rest of them lose their powers. See, the red sun or whatever that beam is, it took his powers away. So when it took his powers away, he got his ass whipped by a normal human. If he still was from Kryptonian charged up, then that shouldn't have happened.
But as soon as he went back into that thing and got his powers back.
Yeah, but I'm saying if Goku or Vegeta or anybody else figure that out.
But that wasn't necessarily Red Sun. That was something that Jor-El created for him in the instance that he wanted to give up.
There's that one. And
that's not the one that the test shot that I saw, but
no, this is another one I found. No, you're talking about the black and white.
Yeah,
but I think these show it off a little better.
Christopher Lee looked better in that suit
because these are photoshopped.
They're basically just their head swapped.
Yeah.
So I mean, but this one was actually Cavill in the outfit.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. This was shot for hold on.
Look at that cape flapping, man.
Man, he looked kind of strong to me, Bo.
Hold on. I'll
it was before he got jacked, man.
I will hold on.
Henry Cavill from like Man of Steel and BVS could not fit inside Christopher Reeve's suit.
Henry Cavill, Jack, and the guy that plays Thor.
Yep.
Those two were built for those parts, man.
Yep.
Here you go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, that's straight there.
But
and Darth Reese says it's Mr. Miracle.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Thank you, darling.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle is hell, boy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to see. And that is my list.
Okay.
So,
it's a very good list.
Yeah.
Very good.
Sure.
Last but not least is Mr. Stackhouse.
All right. Well, my number 8 is going to be Justice League. And
wow.
I would
No, I mean, I'm surprised that he would go there with it, but I don't disagree. I was really tempted to put it lower.
let me
Chris.
What?
There ain't no way in hell y'all gonna sit here and tell me that Justice League is worse than Superman 4
and not see the cuts in it.
Just let me explain. Let me explain the reasoning. Okay. Justice League would have been much higher on my list if Superman would have been in more than like 20 minutes of the film.
And that was my other thing I was having trouble with.
That's my entire reasoning for putting Justice League at the very, very end.
He's in how much of that? Because he was doing Mission Impossible. What was it?
Yeah.
Ghost Recon?
No.
Was it not appropriate the amount of time he was in there for what the script was asking
That's
for?
the problem. The script was crap.
In the original script, he was in there for much longer.
Yeah. It just
so
product of his environment.
You cannot do a Justice League movie with Superman in a 2-hour movie for like 30 minutes. You just can't, because there would be no Justice League without Superman. My number 7 is Superman 3 because it was cheesy. You could tell that's when the scripts were starting to go bad. You know,
seriously are gonna say that 4 is that close to the halfway point?
number 3.
I know, no, 4. 4 is coming up.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Just let me explain my reasoning. So Superman 3 is number 7.
Crack, right? Is that what it is? Did you see what you just did? You made Danny leave.
I made Danny leave. No, Superman 3 is number 7 because, like we were talking, like the darker Superman and the junkyard scene, you know, that really affected me as a kid because when Superman 3 came out, there was the Kenner superpower line, okay, the superpowers toy line.
Wait. So the whole reason why this is at 7 instead of 6 is because of something that happened to you as a child?
Yeah, well, because this affected me as a kid. Superman was my superhero when Superman 3 came out, and you know it. I mean, if you want to get down to brass tacks, Superman is in the full movie, unlike Justice League. So I would rather have a poorly written Superman film and have Superman in the entire film than have Superman in like 20 minutes of the film.
No, I'm talking about 3 is before 4.
I know.
Lower than 4. How the hell does that happen? And like you just said, you have to reevaluate your list. The least you could have done is switch those two really quick.
with all the issues that I do have with 4, I like 4.
I just smoked crack last night, watched it again. I was like, it's not that bad.
Just let me finish my list. Shut up, Chris. Number 6 is Superman Returns for
Whoa. Wait, Superman 4 ain't on here yet.
Not yet.
God.
Number
what was your number 6?
Number 6 is Superman Returns.
Oh,
for every reason that I have mentioned already. Number 5 is Superman 4.
5. Danny, you work in. You told me what you did. You know what you do. You need to have this boy tested for crack. Crack is whack, John. You need to stop smoking it.
Superman 4, you know, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. It really is. It really is. You know, it's the last.
Sean,
yeah.
I don't think you fully understood the instructions. It said worst.
These are. Yes. I am going with like.
There ain't no way in hell.
In my opinion,
4 should be number 5. Now, come on, come on.
That's your opinion. This is my opinion. I think 4 is better than Superman Returns.
Sean, you're gonna take my title of being the crazy one.
Possibly.
Not possibly. You're well on your way to doing so. I mean,
number 4 is Batman versus Superman.
Okay, we're kind of back on track.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think Batman versus Superman, for all of its flaws, had a lot of really, really great Superman moments in it. I mean, Henry Cavill. I mean, what can you say about Henry Cavill that has not already been said about Henry Cavill as Superman? I mean,
well, for sure he didn't get scratched by an infected fucking nail.
Hey, watch your language, man. We're on somebody else's stream. Number 3 is Man of Steel.
No problem with that statement.
Thank you.
I hear you. Number 3 is Man of Steel because it was the first time, as I've said before, it was the first time that we've ever seen a coming of age Superman story on film, you know, with Clark learning to deal with who he is. And you know, for all of the people that, you know, hate the Snyder vision and think that he trashed on Superman, I think Man of Steel is a solid film. And without Man of Steel, we wouldn't have Henry Cavill. Number 2 is Superman the movie. Because that is the movie that gave Chris, stop that crap. Superman the movie. Without Superman the movie, I don't think we would be anywhere near where we are in the superhero movie renaissance of today. That
Which one?
started it all. Superman the movie.
Okay. What
You know,
number? Number two.
Number
Yeah.
two. Without that movie, we wouldn't be near the renaissance that we are today because it started it all. It made studios say, okay, so superhero films could be profitable.
What year that came out?
78.
That was the first superhero movie ever. On the big screen.
Big
It is
screen,
credited-
mainstream, yes.
It is credited with being what started the superhero movie genre and the blockbuster versions of it.
Yes.
They had done stuff.
There were serials that were played at movies. Like there was the Kirk Allen Superman serials that played before movies, inside theaters and stuff like that, before the actual feature film. But
Same with Batman.
yeah. And so number one is Superman 2. Superman 2 is, I mean, if you remade that exact movie today with the exact script, the same cues, all of the same type of acting, the only thing that would make it better, slightly better, is technology. I mean, the film is just that good.
There was too many flaws in that movie. There was too many wrong turns and not like so egregious that the movie isn't good.
I think they played two different versions on TV because
Yes, there's a
Yeah,
dark
there's
cut.
the Donner cut and
remember-
there's the original cut. And
I
I
remember one version. Doesn't Lex Luthor like freeze him when he's coming under the subway, and he busts out of that, and he try to burns him?
it's been a while.
Yeah, and then there's one where that whole scene's cut out.
But the version, I should have clarified, the version that I'm speaking of is the Donner cut.
Okay,
Superman-
I can
Superman
get
2
on board with that.
Superman 2 is good, the theatrical release, but the Donner cut, if it was shot scene for scene today, the Donner cut, I don't think it could be any better than it is, except for the advancements in technology.
I just wish that they would go back and maybe find a way to cut that together a little better.
They just
When they released the giant box set, they did the absolute best they could with it. But like I said, there's like a test scene.
there were all the other things that they
That's
combined
right.
in
Dark.
testing. So Clark's hair is like slicked down, in part of the test scenes, and in the actual theatrical release, it's not. So in the same scene, you'll have cuts where his hair is different from like 1 second to another. So you can't really do anything to make it any better visually.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
They
that
could-
is my list.
well, they went through and did some CGI work on Mark Hamill's hair in Star Wars and stuff.
I mean, they could. I mean, if Warner Brothers wanted to put the money in and do, say, like a 40th anniversary re-release of the Donner cut, I would actually be way more up for that than the Snyder cut of Justice League.
I could go with that. I'm looking to see
Hate to
where
break it to you.
Superman is.
What's up, Mads?
If they were going to do a 40th re-release, they've already went and passed that.
For Superman 2?
That was 1980. 80?
83, wasn't it?
That's no.
That was
I'm
Superman
thinking,
3.
I'm thinking thinking Superman 1. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but
Yeah.
Superman 2 was either 79 or 80, so
It was 1980. So
okay.
this would
Because
be-
I know they filmed 1 and 2
It would
back
have
to
to be
back.
this year.
So it would have to, good God.
What?
You just made me realize that 1980 was 40 years ago.
Yep.
yeah, well, you're 42, so that seems to that plays in line for that,
I don't think of that often. I had to ask you the other day how old we were.
I was a whole 10 years old when Superman 2.
And I had to ask you, are we talking mentally
Same here.
or physically? What was that?
I said I was 10 years old in 1980 when it came out.
It was 2.
Yeah. Man. But yeah, that's my list. And an honorable mention. Supergirl would be number 9.
Oh God,
He didn't star in that, did he?
no, he didn't.
His statue did. His
Yeah.
statue did. But
Who was the bad guy in that? I can't even remember that.
it was a woman. I forget her name, but it was such a bad movie. I mean, Supergirl was worse than Superman 3 and Superman 4 put together.
Yeah, I'm all for cheesy movies, but yes, Supergirl was cheesy even for me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Christopher Reeve was supposed to make a cameo in that. Then he read the script. He's like, nah, no, come back to me when you have something that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
You should have done that before he agreed to Superman 4.
Well, they promised him so many things on 4. They promised him so many things, and then he signed the script, and then they backed out on a lot of it. But
Superman 4 was not Christopher Reeve's fault.
No.
Masters of the Universe and the giant cluster F that became siphoned.
I actually like Masters of the Universe better than Superman 4.
Yeah, but the budget for Masters of the Universe was stolen from Superman 4.
They didn't have the money or the backing to do Masters of the Universe, and half of that movie was done nefariously. They were doing these scenes when they break into the studio to do it.
Yeah, it was shut down. It was legitimately shut down.
And so I mean, literally, it's not industrial, but corporate espionage or corporate siphoning. They did a lot of illegal stuff to get.
It was Canon. It was Canon Films that they're the only company, to my knowledge, that has made a film for Warner Brothers. It was not Warner Brothers, like as far as Superman goes. And they promised Warner Brothers the world to get the rights to make the film. And then Warner Brothers said, fine, here is the money for the budget. And they did some very underhanded, shady stuff with that money because they wanted to do Superman and Masters of the Universe.
It's a cult classic. I know some people love that.
No, I love Masters of the Universe. And here's the thing.
I love He-Man.
It isn't nearly the movie it was sold as. And the fact is they got what they got. And
I didn't like the fact he didn't transform. If he would have transformed, that would have been even.
There's a lot of that.
And I didn't like the fact that we spent like all of 10 minutes on Eternia and the rest was on Earth. I mean,
the magical.
That part didn't bother me, but I didn't. The girl that played Tila, she wasn't strong enough to me.
She didn't even look like Tila.
Man of Arms I didn't really care for him. And then
the best part was Frank Langella as Skeletor.
Yeah, the thing that's supposed to be Orko, he looked like some kind of dwarf or something.
He was Gulliver. He was an Orko. They didn't have the technology for it.
No, they weren't going to do that. I don't even think they ever. Well, even if they had the idea, there was a lot of things they wanted to do. I'm trying to remember the glider scenes.
Yeah.
Whatever I read about that, the fact that they didn't have the budget, they did some really crappy drawing in some parts, and if you watch it, you'll notice that they just, instead of doing consistent frames where like the background moves and on the screen, because obviously it's shot in front of a screen when they're doing the moving of the thing, it goes up and down, all that. You can actually tell what they did is they took the frames and they cut frames out of it, 1 to make it faster, but 2 to save money. They did some really just some shady stuff on that. I mean, there's actually a thing about the debacle that was Masters of the Universe and Superman 4.
Yeah, there's a documentary. It was on Netflix. I forget what it's called.
And if you watch it, it's great because
it will tell you everything.
Which, again, makes me say that I don't blame Christopher Reeves, because Christopher Reeves and Warner Brothers were both duped.
Yeah.
The whole time. And if I remember right,
there was a lawsuit afterwards.
Exactly. It was not just a lawsuit. There was talk of criminal action because the federal government got involved because of the way that they moved the money.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything ever came out of it. They never made another movie again. But I believe
it's the reason Canon went out of business, though.
Exactly. And I believe also they held the rights. It was like 2 brothers, wasn't it? There was two guys, and they held the rights until can't remember who got it from them.
No, it was. You mean to Superman?
They held another right to another movie.
No, Alexander Salkin held the film rights. He got them from DC for Superman the movie in 1978. Then he eventually sold those to John Peters. But Warner Brothers still owns the character, and
yes,
you know it's a very complicated, convoluted legal thing. You can find all the court papers online.
Change the subject real quick. Who owns the rights to Thundercats? Because I'm ready to see that in live action.
Oh, you and me both, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that still Hanna-Barbera? Maybe not Hanna-Barbera.
No, let's see.
Filmation? What?
No, it was let me see. Right.
It's Warner Brothers Animation.
Yep.
God, I wish they'd pull the trigger on that.
Me too, man. Me too. I mean, how awesome would a live action Thundercats movie be with?
That would be awesome if they could get Mum-Ra right.
Oh,
Mum-Ra, Lion-O, and the Sword of Omens. If they get those three right, I'm there.
that would be fire. That would be fire.
So October 7th of last year, Thundercats movie coming from Michael Bay, Ryan Reynolds, and Netflix.
I will believe it when I see it because that story has been floating around for almost 2 years.
Did you see that fan one when they did with Brad Pitt as Lion-O?
Is Lion-O. Yeah, I love that. I love that fan made trailer.
There's a fan trailer out there. And it has Brad Pitt.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt is Lion-O. Halle Berry is Chitara.
I'm not sure who plays Tiger.
Was Hugh Jackman as Tigra, and Vin Diesel as Panthro.
I'm not sure.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel as Panthro. Yep. You know what? You know what's funny?
just because of that, it's all clips from the various movies. But yeah, the Vin Diesel Panthro will always stick in my head because it's from one of the Riddick movies. And he's sitting there going, "It's an animal thing."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I find funny about a live action Thundercats is that it would probably be more visually stunning than Cats.
Well, here it says Twitter is calling for a Thundercats movie after seeing Cats.
Nice.
Who's your favorite Thundercat, Sean?
Funny is that
what was that then?
July 19th.
I said, who's your favorite Thundercat?
Lion-O and I have to say, when I was a kid, I really, really liked Snarf.
Snarf.
But Lion-O, I like, and Lion-O and Panthro. Panthro, I mean, he was voiced by the guy who played the dad on the Cosby Show, like Bill Cosby's dad.
Yeah.
And Earl Hammond. Yeah, and I mean, I love Panthro. Panthro was
I like Tigra.
Tigra was good too. I mean, I love the Thundercats. I used to have all the toys. Mum-Ra was like one of the baddest villains on.
It would be awesome too if they did a Silverhawks.
Mm-hmm.
And they could pull off a Brave Star too.
Yeah. The guy that John Celestri, the gentleman that Chris and I talked to last Monday, he actually worked on Brave Star. He was a cartoonist and animator for the show, as well as
Brave Star wouldn't be hard to do because they could do they did what's the guy name the cowboy that could bring people back to life?
Jonah Hex.
They could do the same thing, that same style with Brave Star.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd definitely like to see 3030 transform from horse to like when he's on two legs. That would be awesome to see.
I mean, there's so many great 80s cartoon properties that would be great movies aside from Transformers, and keep Michael Bay away from them, please.
Yeah.
I think the first Transformer movie was really good.
Yeah.
The best Transformers movie, in my opinion, is Bumblebee.
And I have not seen Bumblebee yet. but I've heard everybody tell me
Bumblebee is very accurate to the cartoon. It actually takes place in the 80s.
but he didn't. They didn't. Michael Bay did not.
No.
But it's set in the same universe.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But it's a prequel.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I haven't Bumblebee yet either. But for me, the one where it was Leonard Nimoy voicing one of the primes.
Oh, that was Transformers, the animated movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene where, like, I was watching that with my kid's father back when we were still living together. And this is, like, so classic, one of those classic bits of me. That scene where all of the soldiers are jumping out of the helicopter. I'm puttering around watching this, and I'm just singing along, "It's raining men."
Hallelujah.
I hate that song.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but now when you guys watch that scene,
The Weather Girls.
Chris sings that every night at karaoke.
no, I don't.
I don't doubt that.
I don't.
Who won the name that tune last night? I had to jump off.
Mary ended up winning. It was tied to or 1-1 in the final round in the quick pick, whatever you want to say round, and then she got got it really quick, like less than a second. And Tom, I guess, originally didn't hear it right, and then he went back and listened, and it was there, and he whatever. But no, he won. She won. So Mary is your season 1 champion.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah. They made me work for that one because Tom, when he was on the first time, literally was split seconds, because Tom and I are a lot alike, especially when it comes to music, that the first time I don't know if I really thought about that too much. And then as he started getting them one after another, I'm like, yeah, I guess he would. So this time I had to go around and I had to actually really think about what to pull out and what to put in there for songs. So
that'd be pretty cool to do.
Mm-hmm.
I know Han Star's always open to new people.
Yeah, he was on our stream last night, and he was talking about season 2, and I have a cordial invite, so I can't wait.
Yep. So, and again, with somebody like Sean, I have to think about what I'll put in there, because there's certain things he'll be waiting to hear because he knows what I like, and I try not to do what I like, but yeah, with Sean in it, I'd have to.
I have a very eclectic taste these days, man. I mean, it's not just.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
I start with country. Especially this new country. Old country, I'm all right. New country,
country is the one that normally gets most people, because when you take the words out of it, it's literally, ding, 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 ding. Like almost every one of them, even if the new ones, they just sometimes just have those same chords, and it's not that.
Yeah. Did any of y'all watch The Masked Singer this season?
Yeah.
No, I watched the first season.
Yeah. Wayne Brady is a beast, man.
He is. No, and I knew every one of those people, and
the only one I didn't know who that Flamingo was.
That was me.
Okay, with the Masked Singer, is that like actual celebrities under the masks, or is that?
Yeah, they're celebrities from various walks of lives. Yeah. They're not necessarily singers. They can be athletes, movie stars.
Golf season was T-Pain. He won it.
Yeah.
So long as it's not like another American Idol, because I have to stop watching that.
No.
I was all the time shouting at the screen, enunciate.
Well, the bad thing, one reason why I'm not a big fan of singing competitions when it comes to, I like the voice. I do like the voice because they don't look at the person first. That's not what they're doing. They're going for the voice. But what I hate is and not all of them have the sob stories, but their storylines. It's like what I thought when I first saw American Idol was, these are people who are not doing this full time and they're getting a chance. When I started reading up on this stuff, and when the internet really exploded and started letting us into this world, you can go and find out these guys were selling out 5,000 seats theaters and stuff. These people were actually doing this every night. This was their job. And you're like, well, wait a minute. This is not
what they're saying in the story.
What they're saying it is. They're making it sound like
it's not compelling.
Lives away, and they're just barely making it by. It's like, no, these guys have a pretty decent career.
Yeah.
And so I really, because for instance, here in Kansas City, in Blue Springs, which is a suburb of Kansas City, we had David Cook. Now, I knew a lot of people who knew David Cook, and they all knew he had a rock band and he had been touring the United States circuit, small venues, but he'd been doing it for about, 5-6 years or so. And he had I won't say lucrative to the point that, I make a lot of money, but he was living off of it. And so
American Idol is
regionally known.
Huh?
He was regionally known.
Yeah.
Let's just get you more exposure. That's all that is.
Yeah. And I mean, it's
that's on live. We all get, any one of us get a chance to get on PewDiePie's.
For sure.
So we're jumping on that. So I ain't mad at them for trying to.
No, I'm just saying.
No.
I don't blame any of those people. I don't blame any of the people who are on there. I blame the way that they format it to make it look like, okay, because think about it. They show that with American Idol, you've got all these thousands of people lined up around the block. Well, of those thousands of people, they got these people that are picking people out. Well, they've already got resumes, I'm sure, that they've sent into this show. And so they already know some of these people that are going to make it past a certain point. So some people have to go in front of the camera guy sitting in a room just so they can say, yeah, no, this guy can't do it. And then some of them are going to make it to the craft services people who go like, no, they're not going to make it. And then some of the guys actually make it to the producers the first try, or the first time they go in front of somebody, they make it to the actual producer. So the producer says, yeah, I like him. What's his backstory? Oh, well, his mom died 7 years ago. Okay, well, his mom died 2 years ago. And it's affected everything. They trump this up. And it's like, what's wrong with just telling us who the damn person is?
The best example that I could give, and this is exaggerated out of proportion, but if you've ever seen the TV show Psych, there's in season 2, episode 1, it's called American Duos, and it's based on American Idol. And so Sean and Gus have to go, undercover as contestants on American Duo, and Tim Curry plays the Simon from American Idol, and it's just great. It's great. I mean, Tim Curry, come on.
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic Four. We have done another show.
Yes, we have.
I ain't mad at it at all.
You're mad at my list a little bit, aren't you?
I'm confused, thoroughly confused with your list.
He's gonna rip Superman 4 and shove it down your throat is what he's gonna do. It's gonna go right from 5 to your throat.
I will gladly eat that.
I'm flabbergasted. That's the only word I can use, because
as he kept going, I'm sitting there like, where's 4? Where is 4? Where is 4?
But hopefully I redeem myself from number 4 to number 1 just a little bit.
One thing I've learned about you, Maz, Chris, Ors, and Chad is that if you think something is going to go down logically, that is going to be the furthest thing from the truth.
Yep.
You're going to know, you know in your mind that A connects to B and B connects to C. I'd be damn when I get here with y'all. You skip B, you skip B, come back to A.
We're always going to have, what in your mind is the right list. We're always going to have one that just throws it.
I think because I skipped logic class in high school.
I'm actually kind of surprised, Danny. Not, I'm glad. But
you and I have been on the same page on both.
It's kind of interesting that
Chris installed a Trojan horse somehow on your computer, and he's spying on your lists.
I'm telling you, this tonight I was blew my mind.
This out,
and Chad totally blew my mind. On
Chad's the reason why we have set lists now.
Oh my lord!
yeah. Chad's list was like, I mean, but because Chad is Chad, and he
Chad thinks outside of the box,
very and
way outside of the box.
And I love Chad.
Chad thinks so far outside the box. He's holding a spear.
Oh my god.
I love Chad, so much because he thinks out of the box, but
Yes.
his choices, I was like, what? I would have. I mean, I didn't even. I totally forgot about that movie. How is that on your top 10 list?
Nindroid, that was Wayne Brady, the fox that looked like the Goblin King. I think.
No, it was the Riverdale crossover episode.
Will you read in front of you? Oh wait, I'm sorry, you can't read. It says one guy looked like the Gargoyle King. I think he means the Goblin King from Labyrinth.
No, he's talking about the Gargoyle King from Riverdale. You should look at the actual chat, Chris, because I replied.
Oh, I didn't see that, and I don't care. It's Riverdale. Anyways, the outfit he wore actually looked kind of like what David Bowie wears in Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Hello, Perp.
I think that
Okay.
What's up, Perp?
next Monday, if we all available, when do you do your show, Chris? I think you do
I do it at 7:30. I might bump it up to 7 to give us some leeway because I try to do it in an hour. If we really got on a good roll with John Silvestri, I might. It depends. This next week, I'm not sure. I have 3 or 4 people that I'm still trying to nail down that have been picked by the wheel of names.
Okay.
So
I think I'm gonna do Guilty Pleasures next Monday.
well, Sean's already given you several. I mean, guilty pleasure of what? Just in general?
Just if you're gonna do each one of us gonna do 4 guilty pleasure movies. Discuss.
All right.
4 of our
Guilty pleasure,
movies.
From any genre?
Superheroes?
Any genre.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Any
back
genre.
to being the crazy one for sure. I already know that.
Wow. Okay.
Let's face it, most of the movies I watch are superhero movies anyway.
4? Just 4. Okay, 4. I've got 4.
Chris' number one movie is going to be Robin Hood, Prince
Hero
of
guilty pleasure movies. I don't think there's 4 guilty pleasure movies.
What?
Superhero movies.
Oh, I got lots.
Oh, yeah.
4 superhero.
Huh?
Oh, 4 superhero guilty pleasure movies? I don't think I do. But I definitely have a bunch
actually,
of movies.
I probably do.
Chris's number 1 is going to be Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with
That's
Kevin
not
Costner.
a superhero movie, and it's not my number.
No, we're talking
I'm
about
a little bit difficult. I'm gonna make it 1 superhero,
Okay.
1 comedy,
Okay.
1 drama, and 1 sci-fi.
Okay. Well,
Is that too tough?
no.
put that in that chat though.
Yeah. 'Cause I'll
Put it
never
in the chat so we remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a week to figure out a drama.
1 superhero, 1 comedy, 1 drama, 1 sci-fi.
Sean,
Because
Robin Hood.
I'm gonna warn you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna warn you guys. I consider 300 a chick flick. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, it's
Yeah,
not.
he runs around without
It is.
a shirt on.
Is
It
Aquaman
is.
a chick flick too?
Yeah, 300 muscular guys running around in leather undies.
Leonidas
Enough said.
was the man, buddy.
All right.
It's a chick flick.
You do you, man. You do you. It's all right.
This is why you guys like.
Before we go, I'll let everybody tell the people where they can find them at. And you're going to start off with, ladies, to my
Opposite direction. Always point the opposite way.
Miss Mama Bear. Go ahead and tell.
I'll never get used to that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Matt's Mama Bear here. Find me at Matt's Mama Bear both on Twitter and on YouTube. I will be getting up some Supernatural later on this week. I'm hoping to get some more Mama Bear's Kitchen, but funds for extra, kind of stuff is a little tough. So yeah.
Very cool.
And yes, Sean, I'll get to brownies eventually.
I know.
What? Did I hear brownies?
Yeah, Matt make me brownies.
He's been bugging me for brownies.
Are you going to send them to him?
Yeah, well, I have to send her payment first, but of course.
Let me know when that happens, Matt, so I can gauge when they're going to get there, so I can have some.
Chris is going to intercept my mail that day. He's going to be like, "Oh, what? No, you didn't get any mail today."
Yeah, no, I don't know. Sorry, I'm camping out at your house all day because I heard there was a serial killer in the neighborhood, and I just wanted to protect you and your family. And no, I think the nail.
I'm just being a good friend, man. I'm just being a good friend.
What's the chocolate on your face? What chocolate? I don't know what you're talking about.
I've been cleaning out your sewer line with my face.
Although that would be a lame excuse, I probably would come up with. The bad thing is he'd probably buy the lame excuse.
I'd be like, well, that explains your smell. Okay.
Okay, yeah. There's a reason why people have us on.
Yeah. And there's a reason why some people don't have us on.
True too.
You're next, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Right. I'm Sean Stackhouse. You can find me on YouTube at Sean Stackhouse Reacts. I'm also on Twitter at Sean Stackhouse. Danny, if you will allow me, I just want to plug my 1,700 subscriber contest I'm doing. If I can hit 1,700 subs on YouTube by the end of this month, I'm giving away this pristine vintage Superman comic from 1991.
Not graded though, right?
Not graded. It's number 53 from March of 1991. Never been out of.
Beautiful cover. I will attest to its quality because I was actually at his house yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday. I will attest to its quality.
It's been out of the card back like twice. You know, of like the almost 30 years, 29 years. 29 years, guys. 29 years old. And I mean, it looks vibrant and beautiful. So if I can hit 1,700 subs by the end of this month, I need you to go to my Twitter page, find the pinned post on my Twitter page, like it, and I will pick one person at random, contact you via DMs, and I will send this to you. Free of charge.
Good deal.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Knight.
Well, I am Chris Knight, one half of the Real Review 3000, Sean Stackhouse, as you can see above me, this side right there. Let's pick your nose. He's the other part of it. And, you know, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. I haven't really thought of what I might give away at 1,000, but we have some pretty crazy antics we're trying to come up with for 1,000 subs celebration.
I'll give away your virginity finally.
I have 2 kids, you know. Anyways, but I'm trying to get up to 1,000. I'm at like 743, I think was the last time. So, you know, if you guys would be so kind to go over there and help me out, get towards at least 800, hit 800 here soon would be great. Yeah, I'm at 743 right now.
And believe me, Chris and I have started brainstorming on what to give away as a contest to get him to 1,000. So
yeah,
it's going to be something cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, but don't forget to check out chaoscentral.com, chaos with a K, and you can get some great articles over there. We're always looking for writers. If you're a writer, you want to write about pop culture, comics, something like that. You can DM Sean or myself on Twitter. My Twitter is Chris Knight 5150. You can DM us and we'll get you lined up to start writing for the website. Always looking for new writers, new suggestions, things like that. So, yeah. Thank you for having me on, Danny. I appreciate it as usual.
Before we go, Danny, we go, I just want to say, I know I noticed that you said you haven't seen it yet, but man, you need to check out the Morbius trailer. It is on
Seriously.
fire. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it as soon as I get off here.
Okay, cool.
I am Danny Graham. This is my channel, Comic Chat. You can reach me on YouTube, Comic Chat, on Twitter, Comic Chats with an S. I'm a little over 1,000 now. My next goal is 1,500, which I hope to reach before the summer. I can only do that with your help. Please, please, please subscribe to these 3 people. They have great channels, great ideas. We always have a lot of fun together. Mama Bear, Sean Stackhouse, Chris Knight, please support these guys. Me and Sean hooked up one day. He sent a tweet, and the rest is history. I definitely enjoy it. I thank y'all for support my channel and coming. Please support Chris's channel this Thursday. He has a new format. I'm telling you, man. When I saw it last week, I was chomping at the bit to get in there and was mad because he wouldn't let me in there. So I'm going to be in there this Thursday.
We have rules. I have people that, I got a lot of people.
Questions that I think going to set fire to that format, especially one of those questions I did. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I hope I get 5 minutes on the wheel. That's my hope for both my questions.
My question got 5 minutes.
Did you check that out? I forgot what do you call the show again?
It is called the Weekly Rumble, where we put 4 YouTubers against each other. Basically, you got 4 YouTubers, 5 topics. The topics this week, we're going to have 10 topics altogether, but 5 will get picked. There are 5 time limits, and basically, we're going to kind of change it up this week. Instead of taking the time limit down, we're going to leave all the time limits up, and it's just going to be random. You never know if you're going to get 1 minute or 5 minutes, or if we're going to get every subject's going to be 5 minutes. We might have to change it if it does that, because, but it's basically everybody gets their time without interruption, which is on Discussion Stream. It's a constant battle, and it's not like it's anybody's fault. We all want to get something said.
Yeah.
Somebody says something that makes you want to say something else, and then that just happens. So in this case, it really gives the platform to the YouTuber or the person who's there. They get their time, and like a lot of people found out last week, you think you need that 5, you're like, oh, 5 minutes, I got this 5 minutes, but everybody ends up like, even the 3 minute and the 4 minute one, they kind of got to that last minute going like, okay, I've made my point. And that's why everybody knows what the topic is. They all get to research it. And that's why I really think that this is a new way that we can do discussion streams. It's a little different. It's,
Well, at least it's not like a presidential debate where everybody goes over the time and they're like, yeah, sir, your time's up, your time's up, your time's up. And they just ignore them.
You say it's 10 questions we get to choose from?
Well, you each are gonna give me 2 topics. I get 2 topics, and of those 2 topics, or of those 10 topics, since I picked 2 myself. Yeah. I don't do anything but give a little short blurb about what I think. I know it's not about me.
Sure.
But I give you, we take the 10 topics, we're going to put them on the wheel of topics. We spin the wheel, and whatever comes up, we get 5 of those. So not every topic will get picked.
Okay, but when do we see the topics? So
you will see them before you do it. But like, for instance, you guys are talking in the DM right now about those topics. You will know those topics here before Thursday.
Boom.
So I'm trying to get them by tonight if I can.
Yeah. Check them out, people. Check them out.
When am I going to be on this? Because I will win.
I tried to get you on there, and you jumped out of the DM.
Oh,
there will be no Superman topics at all because you would go over your 5 minutes.
Well, if he does, he gets muted.
You be on there talking.
I can't help it. I'm right.
I would gladly have you on, Sean. So if you want me to put you back in the DM, I will.
Yeah, go put me back in because you add me to things all the time, and I don't know what they are. So
because you don't read.
I have my phone ding all the time. I'm just like, oh, Chris, just had
I can't remember. I don't remember that you can't read. That's my problem. I'm sorry. People remember he has a teletype machine that speaks to him when you read your DMs.
I do not. I have a speak and spell.
That's what I mean. I thought you had a little more higher end equipment.
No,
sorry.
My technology goes as far as 1982 from ET.
And trust me, when he sends you really weird responses, it's because it's running out of batteries, so it doesn't really talk. Talks like now, and then he formulates his response based off of that, and he comes back wah 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 wah.
That's right. That's right. Facts.
No, but check it out Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Trying to make it a weekly stream. We're still ironing out the kinks. We're going to get it down here in the next I mean, it's going to take about 4 or 5 times to really nail down the best way for the stream to work.
It's good stuff, man. Check it out. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And Danny,
after his stream, pop over to my channel. We're going to be doing a birthday live stream for me on Thursday.
Awesome.
Happy
early birthday, Matt.
Yeah, the girls talked me into it.
Very cool. Danny,
Y'all-
can I
They're gonna be live from where, Mads?
Well, we're going to be all over the place.
Okay.
It's me and the other Dark Queens.
ooh,
We'll be on it. We're probably going to have other people popping
You
in
got
at
that party
random.
bus? Gonna be on the party bus?
No, I will be streaming as I always am from right here.
oh,
Okay.
You know, I'm happy to party. Just keep everybody at a distance. Okay.
aw.
The bear there.
Go ahead, Sean.
Cool, thank you. So on Wednesday at 6:30, I have my second or third solo stream. I'm starting to do some solo streams. And this is just going to be about a bunch of news. I'm going to be covering about Snake Eyes, Batman, possibly having Batman in the Joker 2, Witcher Season 2. I've got a whole list of topics. And then on Sunday, Chris and
Didn't you send us 2 topics to talk about? On
Which one?
DM?
Do what? Huh?
do what?
Didn't you send us 2 topics to talk about on DM tonight? About wouldn't it be good topics to discuss?
Oh, yeah, Mad sent one, and I believe
Something about did Harley King kill Mr. J or something?
Oh,
like
yeah.
that?
yeah, that is going to be one of the topics I do talk about as well, because there was an article on Screen Rant that is claiming that, and I just don't understand how that could possibly be. But on Sunday, Chris and I are doing a stream with US Dutch Kitty about Doctor Who, and it's called a wibbly wobbly timey wimey Doctor Who stream, and that is at 2:30 on Sunday.
I will not be there. I have never watched an episode of Doctor Who, so I would be
Love it.
as
Well,
ignorant as hell if I was joining that channel.
It's a very good show.
I'll give you a thumbs up. I'm gonna come in long enough to give you a thumbs up, support you, but I'm back up out of there.
No, just
All buffalo, man.
just pop up a window and leave it running.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
And
do
Mads,
that.
if you like Doctor Who, you're more than happy or more than welcome to join us. If
I
you're
might actually, if I'm free, I would be more than happy to.
Okay.
I've got the exploding TARDIS on my wall. I've got a adipose plush around here somewhere.
Is it like 9 or
always seems
10
to
different
wind its
Doctor
way in my
Who's? I
kids.
can't keep track of them
I
Very
think we have the 13th Doctor right now.
because he like regenerates or something, right?
But is it 14 with the War Doctor or is it 13 with the War Doctor?
The War Doctor is technically not considered a doctor,
It
but it's
depends
one
on
of the incarnations.
who you ask. That's why I always ask, because
No, that's actually from the Doctor lore itself, because he was the Doctor with the one time when he couldn't be the Doctor.
As far as like the canon goes, Jodie Whittaker is the 13th Doctor.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
13th Doctor, 14th incarnation.
yes, that's so.
That is correct. So, Mads, just let me know what like as we get closer to Sunday. Let me know what your day's looking like, and if you want in, I'll throw you in the in the Twitter chat.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool. All right, and that's everything that I've got coming up, guys. Please tune in to everything that everyone has coming up. Subscribe to Danny's channel if you're here and you're not already. Danny definitely deserves your subscriptions.
Indeed.
Again, thank you, lady and gents. Like I said, next Tuesday I will send this list. Correction, next Monday, and same bat time, same bat channel.
Indeed.
Right. Awesome.
Perfect.
Peace.
Bye.
Ciao.